Welcome to the Noah Burra Advice YouTube channel. If you want to get on a call with me and be featured on this channel or in private, the link is in the description. Thank you. So right now
That's
you're trying to sell on Amazon, you have a credit repair agency,
Mhm.
you're trying to get into Airbnb, you're trying to get into TikTok drop shipping.
I know because one
It
of the
sounds
things
crazy when you say it out loud, doesn't it?
it really does. It really does. And this all sounds like I'm trying to do it all at once, but it's been since I'm 24 right now. So I'd say this journey started when I was 18, 19, and so it's just over time. I'm not trying to balance all these at the same time, but I do work, you know, m most days of the week on my job so I can, pay for life and stuff.
And you
And
have a job.
yeah, yeah, dude. It's like I go to work. I have two jobs. I
Jesus.
because I help out my family because my mom's
So you're on like 7 jobs right now.
yeah. It's like,
That's so crazy.
and I know saying it out loud, it's like, well, if you just focused on one, like, you might see success. But
But in action, it's hard because
yeah.
I always tell people like the best entrepreneurs in the world, like at least the ones that I know, including myself, like bro, shiny ball syndrome is the biggest thing that gets us.
Dude, it is, bro, because I see something next and I'll be oh no, content creation of new AI stuff is the move right now. And it's
Mhm.
do I jump into that? It's hard to stay. I almost got into the automated cleaning business. Because that's the thing right now.
I mean,
I was
bro, I'll just start with this.
yeah,
There's a point of maturity as an entrepreneur where you have to understand that like you can be extremely successful in like a million different things. Like it's not a question of like what's the best vehicle, what's the best opportunity, what's the best way to make money, because the maturity thing is that they all suck.
yeah,
Like once you do enough of them, you're gonna realize like, oh my God, all of these are terrible. They all come with their own issues, they all come with their own benefits and pros and cons. And that's why people say to pick one. I wouldn't say it's so much for like the focus and the time. I would say it's more for the fact that you just need to get over the initial shittiness of the business to
hmm,
get into the sexy part of the business. Like every business for the first 2, 3 years, most of the time is gonna suck ass.
yeah, yeah. You're right.
That's just how it is. And like, bro, if you're like, imagine going into business with that mindset, and then you're like, oh, I'm gonna start 4 businesses. All 4 of those things are gonna suck ass for 2 to 3 years.
Yeah, dude.
So it's like it's gonna suck either way. So, and this is what Mark told me, because I was like in the same shoes as you before I started working with Mark. He was like, "You're gonna drop everything." Like I think I was doing door to door for solar. I had a website that was like an affiliate marketing thing. I had, Facebook Marketplace, drop shipping. Like I just had like a lot of shit going on. And he's like, if you want me to mentor you, it's one thing. And it's the thing I'm going to coach you on. And if you do it for 6 months, just one thing, and it sucks and you want to go and do something else, then fine. But as long as you're working with me, you're just going to do one thing. And honestly, that was the first time I ever committed to a single thing. And honestly, it was the first thing that fucking worked. Like that's just how it worked.
That's so helpful because it's I try all these things because I'm trying so hard to grasp the success of it. It's I guess I didn't even take into account if you have one thing, one business that theoretically, you're gonna eat shit for some time, right? It's I'm grabbing at all these strings, wondering why it's taking so long and constantly eating shit because I'm starting a new crap eating cycle every time on all these new different things. It's like I'm a firm believer in it's
Cycle of death.
it's I'm a firm believer. It's nothing you do for the most part is just gonna you gotta earn it. You gotta put in your time. And so I guess I forget that every time I jump into something,
Yeah. Like
you know?
there's a lot of people out there that like do what you do, and then they'll get lucky and one of them will pop off like with very little effort, very little work, and then they'll drop everything else and commit to that one thing.
Yeah.
But like, if you want to be successful and you want to be in control and you don't want to just rely on luck, then it makes sense to just drop everything and just do one thing from the beginning. And weigh the pros and cons of each thing. Like there are pros and cons to drop shipping. There's pros and cons to Amazon and Shopify and TikTok ads and Facebook ads and Airbnb and doing a credit repair. And like there's pros
Yeah.
and cons to all of these things. So if you don't have high cash flow, you might not want to start an ecom brand,
Yeah.
because ecom brand is like low cash flow, takes a lot of money to start. Even drop shipping, you need money to like test products with ads and
You
stuff.
do.
So it's like, maybe if you're low on cash and you need a cash flowing business, maybe the credit repair agency is like your vehicle to like 5 to 10K a month,
Yeah.
right? And then once you have that money, then what I would say is like start building a team inside of that business and then, try to get it to like 20, 30K a month. And then once it's there, build out like a full team to where you're strictly like a visionary part of that business. You're calling the shots, you're making the ideas, and then you're just telling people to go do them. And then at that point, you're strictly up here with that business, and then you can put your actual, integrational skills into something else. So like at that point, you can then go into drop shipping or you can then go into Airbnb. And this is like the way that I did it, bro. Like for the first, so I hired Mark to teach me drop shipping for my agency in 2017, September of 2017. I
Mhm.
didn't start another business until pretty much exactly 2 years later, September of 2019.
Yeah.
And my first business was a drop shipping agency where I would actually help people, find products, build their stores. So I did that for 2 years straight, didn't do anything else. I think I bought a rental property. Like that's the only thing that I did like on the side that year, 2019, which I did. And then September of 2019, so 2 years later, I started Viral Ecom Ads,
Yeah.
which is also an agency that provides ad creatives to drop shippers. So it wasn't even like, going from drop shipping to Airbnb. It was like going from drop shipping to like digital drop shipping, like same exact business and that were very complementary that worked together. And another thing I did was by that point for my first agency, I already had sales hired out. I already had, multiple ad buyers. I was still doing coaching and stuff. And then on the new business that I started, I went 50-50 with an integrational partner. So like I was running my main agency and the second agency that I had started at that point, I didn't even do shit for. Like I literally just referred customers to my second agency that was ran by my partner. And then over time, I used my brain power to grow that business. Like, oh, we should do influencers. Influencers popped off. We did 1 million our first year, but I still didn't put more than a few hours a week into my second agency because I was still so focused on my first one.
Yeah.
And then I got more real estate and more this and that. And then now I have my main agency, I have an e-commerce brand, I have my real estate investments, and I have my YouTube channel.
Yeah.
And I don't do any of those things alone. Like, my YouTube channel, I hired a full-time videographer, full-time mentor. My
Mhm.
main agency, I have 4 full-time employees here in the United States, like A-game team players, and about 30 other employees that are like part-time contractor type relationships. And then for my real estate, I have, connections to like construction companies, plumbers, electricians, attorneys. The only thing I do there is like somebody will hit me up, I'll direct them to a plumber or like I'll direct them to someone to fix the problem. So at this point, my Rolodex kind of is like yours, right? Like I'm working like 5 or 6 jobs too.
Yeah.
But dude, my team is like, if you add up the amount of full-time people I have, it's like 10 people. So like you got
Yeah.
to start like put yourself in the most valuable position, build something really, really big to where you can start building a team and making connections with people that are there to help you. And obviously pay them a lot of money, like give them the opportunity to become rich under your management. And then,
Mhm.
once you start taking out the button clicking and taking out the integrational work for yourself, only use your brain to grow those companies. And then you can put your brain power and integrational power in different places.